Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this simple rice that you can't resist. So if you want to see how I prepare this, keep on watching. If ever I had a feeling. So these are the ingredients. You're going to be doing rice of your choice, any rice of your choice. Okay, so I have here bell peppers, red and yellow bell peppers, onion and garlic. And here is my seasoning: bay leaf, rosemary, and the seasoning cubes, salt, black pepper, white and black peppers, and I'm going to be using some seasoning: curry, paprika, coriander, and thyme. So here I have the beef I'm going to be using for the stock and for the the garnishing. So the first thing I'm going to do is to season the meat, add onion, seasoning cubes, salt, and some of that peppers. Add a little bit of water and allow the meat to simmer. While the meat is cooking, I'm going to start blending the peppers. I'm going to be using my food processor. Okay, so you can use blender if you don't have food processor. I don't want this to be super smooth. I want them to be roughly chopped, but not, I don't know, but I don't want them to be creamy, so I'm using my food processor. But if you don't have food processor, please go ahead and use whatever you want. Okay, you can actually make them creamy. Just use what you have. So I'm throwing in the peppers, the onion and garlic, and I'm going to blend everything together. You can also use scotch bonnet pepper. The reason I didn't use it is because my son he doesn't like spicy food. Anyway, so here is another thing I love to do whenever I'm cooking with bell peppers. I love to filter them. So don't get rid of the water that are going that came out of the peppers. Okay, don't get rid of the this liquid, please. Conserve them because you're going to be using them for rice. So I've gone ahead to parboil the rice I'm using. Here it is. You can use basmati if that is okay for you as well. And the meat is ready as well. So I'm going to take the meat out of the heat and filter everything because I want to get rid of that cooked onion. They're not going to be part of the stock I'm looking for, so I'm going to filter them. And we continue here. So I'm adding vegetable oil into the pan. After that I'm going to add onion. So after adding the onion, I'm going to allow the onion to saute for a couple of minutes actually. So after that, I'm going to be adding that parboiled rice. Yes, do you know that adding rice, even if you don't follow this step, but do you know that adding onion into your white rice give it a particular taste, like it makes it super delicious. If you haven't tried before, try it. So I'm going to allow that rice to stay in the marinate the rice in the oil for 2 to 3 minutes before adding the stock and the water that came out, the liquid that came out of the bell peppers. So after adding the liquid, I'm going to add a little bit of salt because the stock I have wasn't enough. So I added a little bit of salt. Be gentle with the salt. Depends how you season the stock you are using. So I just stick in one bay leaf in there and I'm going to cover it to cook. Yes, you didn't see me adding the liquid that came out of bell pepper, but I'm going to be adding them. So while the rice is cooking, I'm going to start frying the meat. I've already gone ahead to chop the meat, and I love throwing a couple of onion inside the oil before frying meat, which is really totally optional. You can choose not to do that. Okay, so I'm going to fry the meat until brown. All right, so after frying the meat, I'm going to take them out of the oil, add a little bit more oil inside that oil because it's the same oil I'm going to be using for the sauce. Before adding fresh onion into the oil, make sure you get rid of all the dirty that might be in the oil. So I'm adding another onion into that same oil I used to fry meat. So I'm going to allow the onion to season for a couple of minutes. Now I'm adding some thyme. Season the oil if you want. If you don't want to season the oil at this point, you can always season it after adding the bell peppers or your tomatoes, whatever you're using. But I prefer to use bell peppers here. So I'm adding all the seasoning I'm using, and I'm using a pinch of each, not too much, because I don't really like too much. I love seasoning but not packing too much of seasoning, but do what work for you. Okay, season to taste. Let's use the word season to taste. Okay, so after that, I'm going to be coming in with, I'm going to add the bell peppers, sorry guys, the bell peppers into the oil. And now I'm going to allow them to cook for 15 minutes with continuous stirring. Please do not abandon it. Okay, so after that, right now I'm going to be adding that liquid from bell peppers I didn't add earlier. Okay, so make sure you don't don't add too much water into that rice, because you don't want the rice to be too soft. So I'm also seasoning that sauce with some what is it called, salt, because the salt wasn't enough. And I also throw some scotch bonnet pepper inside the sauce because I wanted just a little bit of taste of spicy taste. Of course it's not spicy, but pepper helps to enhance the taste of food, so that is what I was going for here. And the ingredients I didn't show you guys earlier is my shrimp. So I added the shrimps at this point after 10 minutes of cooking that, because the peppers are almost done. And the meat I added there is the one I didn't fry, is the one I use for the stock. That is kind of bone, so I use it for the stock. I'm taking them out right now because the sauce is ready. Okay, because I allowed the shrimp to cook for 5 minutes, and the rice is also ready. So here is what I usually do, guys. I don't like too much oil in it. I use oil to fry, but I don't like to eat them. Okay, so, and frying bell peppers requires much oil. So what I do after frying, after the sauce is fully cooked, I filter out the excess oil, because I don't really like eating and having my oil all over my plate. But if you're the type that love oil, that is totally okay, guys. Please, that is totally okay if you love eating with oil. But for me, I don't like it, so I filter the oils out before adding the rice. So after adding the rice, I'm going to stir everything together, then add the meat I fried early, and allow the rice and the sauce that I mixed together to stay on a low heat for 10 minutes. Okay, it's kind of frying them but not frying them, but allowing them to cook together to to impress each other very well. Okay guys, right now I'm adding the meat. After adding the meat, I'm going to allow them to stay on a low heat for 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes our rice is ready. This tastes so good and it's very easy to put together, very simple to put together, and so delicious. This food is actually inspired by Janet. I'm going to be leaving her link at description. She cooks a lot, my Anambra sister. So I saw a food like this, okay, so I decided to try it. So she inspired this food and I really love it. Please check her out. I'm going to be leaving the link to her channel at description. Okay, I hope you enjoy watching this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share and subscribe. God bless you all. Bye.